Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, and welcome to episode number 3 on Friday with a Friend. And today, most everybody here is a volunteer. Sheena contacted me and said that she'd like to be interviewed, and she hails from Oklahoma. And so she does have her own YouTube channel, which I've posted down below. So if you could give her a look and subscribe to her channel, and let's give her a go. So welcome, Sheena. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And she's going to be caffeinated. Her husband's bringing her coffee. He's not bringing me any though. And so I don't know. Even though they're selfish, I'll keep this going. So Sheena, what we need to hear is your journey to get to where you are. And let me just start with the end question of you did the WOBO, right? You did the week of beef only
I'm doing the month carnivore right
month.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. And so tell us a little bit about that month that you're doing. And today is January 12th. And
Yes.
um, lead us back into the typical journey that we American women seem to have to get here.
Well, I started off by listening to Dr. Ken Berry, and my whole goal was to heal my body. I was so tired of feeling terrible every day. I'm only 44 years old. And so I started researching because there had to have been something to this autoimmune. So I started going through YouTube. I found you, I found Dr. Barry, I found millions of other people that were talking about the same, I don't feel good. I don't feel great. I want to feel good. And so I thought, man, there's something to this. So I started out with a keto diet. And I was like, well, this ain't bad. I could live like this for the rest of my life. And the inflammation went down. And I started watching what you eat, your small meals. You didn't give up your vegetables. And I like that because, I'm a homesteader too. I grow my own vegetables. And I was like, wow, she's got that, nailed. And you look great. And so, because, pictures, when you see somebody, it's like, wow, you can tell that they worked hard to get where they're at. And so I started watching, and I thought, man, I kept stalling. And I thought, why am I stalling? I'm staying with it, and which I can't exercise because I had back surgery 8 months ago. I had a herniated disc. I got bulging discs in my back. And then I had a hernia repaired in my abdomen. So it makes it difficult, but I'm not a quitter. And so I thought I can do this. Well, then Dr. Barry said, well, we're going to do carnivore. Who wants to do it? And I thought, it'll get rid of the inflammation in your body. So I said, ooh, that sounds wonderful. Let's try it. So I've been doing it, and it has helped a lot with inflammation. I found out a lot about myself by removing everything just to do the carnivore diet, that apparently I have an insulin resistant issue because, well, I kind of figured because I've always had a bigger abdomen, but every time I would eat vegetables, it would stall like onions. It would stall me out, and I couldn't figure out what am I doing wrong. Then when I removed everything and then I added one thing back before January 1st, I told my husband, I said, it was the onions. So it was like, okay, well, I've got to be more careful or make a smaller portion. And so here I am. Long way to go. I started out at 330 pounds. I'm down to 273. I want to get down to 135. And I'm not stopping until I get there. I want to see if this helps my back heal. I want to see if I have kids. I want to be able to run. Even if I can't run, I want to be able to hike. I am so tired of sitting here. I mean, I've wasted a year before the surgery, because they said, well, it might be okay. And then finally, when I couldn't feel my legs, they said, oh, we better do surgery.
Mm.
So it's like, but it's been a really good experience. I mean, now I have my moments where, like last night, I was going, oh, I need chocolate. Oh, I just want a salad. Okay, I don't even really want to cheat. I want a salad with cucumbers. And I just kept telling myself, no, no, no. Yeah, you're almost there. It's almost the middle of the month. But I will be going back I will be ketovore. There will be some days that I'll do just meat, and then days that I'll do my vegetables and my meat, because I do love vegetables. So that's where I am, and I'm hoping to get there with lots of support because I am weak. I need support. I need loving, caring people that understand. My siblings had gastric bypass, and two of them just had the gastric sleeve. They told me if I didn't lose the weight that I probably wouldn't be here because I have the terrible, terrible heart issues, high blood pressure. And, at one point I was on 13 different pills, obstructive sleep apnea. And I thought, how can somebody so young that always worked out with weights have so many health problems? And it's the food. That's exactly what it is. It's the food. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I've met so many good people on YouTube. I mean, so encouraging. I go to you every day, because, even when you have a bad day, you're happy. And I need that in my life. I really do. Because, somebody that's never been through this, they don't understand, and no, I'm not 80 years old, but I feel like I'm 80 because I want to run. I want to exercise so bad. But if anybody has any ideas about things that I can do with a bad back, let me know, because I mean, I even thought, well, I can sit here with little weights and work my upper body. Well, my upper body's really not my problem. It's the middle part. So that's what I've been doing. I've been sticking to beef because I noticed that pork kind of inflames me a little bit. So I've been sticking with beef. I haven't tried back chicken yet. I love chicken, and I want to try back chicken and see if that affects me. But at least I'm learning what meats I can have and what meats I can't have. And then, like I said, the end of the month, I'm having a salad, a wonderful salad. Because I looked at yours and my mouth was watering, and your radicchio, how do you say it? Radicchio salad that you,
Radicchio.
yes. And so I was like, oh, that looks so good. But yeah, that's where I am.
Now, in a million years, did you ever think that the healthiest thing being a salad that you'd be craving versus any of that standard American diet fare?
Actually, yeah, because it's like, I can't believe that I would rather have a salad over something gross like McDonald's or something, that is a norm. It's cheap, it's fast, and it's like I kept telling my husband, I just want cucumbers. If I just had, because I love to take olive oil and vinegar and then salt and pepper, and I like that as my salad dressing. I love it like that. So
Yeah, it's great.
yeah, so I'm just waiting. I'm gonna stay the race though. I, committed, and I'm the kind of person, I do what I say. So I'm going to stay because I think it's really helped me identify and take control of my thinking and my eating. Because the carnivore, it's like that's pretty hardcore, because it's like, you have to decide, okay, well, I can have meat. What am I gonna have? And it's like, I haven't even did back the eggs yet because, I want to do one thing at a time because I'm learning my body. And so that's where I'm at with that. But can't wait
I
to have
think
that
that's great.
salad.
Okay, I got two questions for you.
Okay.
One, when did you start keto? And
Mhm.
then the second question is, were you addicted to fast food franchises?
Okay. I started keto the first time uh September 10th of last year. And then I stopped the keto, but I really didn't eat non-keto because it wasn't a hard thing to do. I quit because I had back surgery, and that was actually when the herniation occurred, and I sat there and sat there and sat there. And so it didn't really go off, but I didn't, I would say I kept my macros probably at, or yeah, about 30 on my, carbs, about 30. So I wasn't really gaining, but I wasn't losing either. And so, yes, I was addicted to fast food. I was addicted to the convenience. When you have one income, you're addicted to the price because you can feed your whole family for 20 bucks. I mean, they market that for people like me. And, I could have had a nice filet mignon. if I wasn't on all the medications and I wasn't seeing 4 specialists, And so it's like, yeah, and I love to cook. And I was taught to cook by my mom and my grandma, and I love to cook the Southern chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, all those things that, and even when I did Weight Watchers, and I've done it before, and training, they were like, 3 meals a day. You got to keep your metabolism going. You need to eat 3 meals a day, or your metabolism will stop working and you won't lose weight. So I had to get that mess out of my brain too, because I had did that for so long, eating every 2 to 3 hours that now the OMAD doing the 1 meal is awesome, because when I did stall out, I did what you said. I fasted. I did my coffee in the morning, and then I fasted like 3 or 4 hour window. Then I guess I ate about 4 o'clock, and then I didn't eat nothing else for the rest of the night. And that got me out of my stall really quick. So that was really cool. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, so one of the things you were talking about, you figured out it was the onions, and
Mhm.
onions are what do they call them? Nightshades,
Yes.
the things below the ground, and those can be problematic for sure. Are you going to ever try to have onions again, or what veggies besides the cucumber and olive oil and vinegar are you looking forward to?
Well, I love tomatoes. I love tomatoes. They're a nightshade too. And I love radishes. I love everything. I am a food lover. I love food. I mean, especially things that I have a food forest. Whenever 5 years ago, I started creating a food forest. I planted all the berries and fruit trees you can imagine, like the Garden of Eden. I every year I grow a giant garden. We eat what we want. I can some, and I give the rest away. Last year, because of my back and being so overweight, I just wasn't able to do it. My husband and my daughter planted everything, and we had a decent harvest, but it wasn't nearly as good as it is when I do it, because I'm the green thumb. And so I just love everything. I mean, I even I grow strange Asian vegetables that most people wouldn't, they think, what is that? And they don't know what that is. And it's like, it's a bitter melon. I grow things like that, and cucamelons, and I love growing things like that, and
What
I
kind
like
of
to be different.
climate do you have in Oklahoma? Like what?
What kind of climate would you say this is? I don't know, summer and winter. There's not it's always changing. And I noticed, since the weather's been so screwed up, it's like the summers are longer. It's been really hot, drought basically, and we haven't been getting enough snow and cold hours to produce fruit. So I'm doing the back to Eden in the garden with the wood chips, so that it'll hold moisture, so I can try to reserve as much water as possible. And yeah, our weather's just been so messed up. But I grow elderberries too, and elderberries are excellent for your autoimmune, and to build your immune system. So I grow a little bit of everything. That's my passion.
And you do
That
have a video on it on your channel too. So
Yeah.
do go to Sheena's YouTube channel down below. You can see that she has a food forest and she'll explain a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and I plan on making a whole lot. I have some old videos that I had taken down, because when I got on this, food force ain't going to matter if I'm not alive to eat it. I've got to get this weight off. And I thought, I need support. I need somebody who understands. And I thought, there's got to be somebody that's as big as me that understands, how difficult it is. And I would think it's not really a food addiction. My thing is, I was sedentary. I wasn't moving around because of my body, and you don't lose weight if you don't move. I mean, even if you eat a 500-calorie diet, you're not going to lose, because you're not doing anything. And so it's like, there's got to be people out there understand that's going to help me, be supportive of me, and help me, get to my goal. I know I'm not the only one. This is America. We're all overweight.
You
So
are not the only one. And one thing that I've heard just in the few minutes we've been talking is that you have incredible motivation and you asked for support. And this community is where you're going to find it. Um, it's interesting to see the comments come from people. When I first interviewed Sandra, she was number one. You're the third interview. And it was great to see, just sharing that, and that you need support, and telling your story could pull out people that you could become like one-on-one buddies, you know,
Mhm.
YouTube channels, and personalize it a little bit more, because that's the great part, is finding somebody you can identify with.
Yes, and you nailed it. Being a community, coming together, all walks of life, that is so important. I mean, you totally hit the nail on the head, and anything I can do to try to bring people together, because we all have a common goal, is to be healthy, happy, live a wonderful life. And you did excellent. You did excellent.
It's nice to I think that when I get frustrated, or I hear other people's frustration, I always try to remind them and myself about the turtles' consistency and pacing. And so, here you are, it's January 12th. This is going to air on the 25th. And so
Mhm.
here you are, and you said you're like halfway through, but you're going to keep doing it.
That's right.
It's slow going. How is your relationship with a scale?
Bad. I Dr. Berry said quit getting on the bed on the scale, because it's like, oh man, I was losing there for a while. I was losing a pound a day on this carnivore. And then I got on it. I was like, wait, it didn't move. It stayed the same. Am I doing something wrong? Because it feels so good to see the numbers just start dropping. And he said, stay off the scale, measure. So I'm going to measure tonight, and I'm going to see where I'm at, and I'm going to start keeping a log so that, I can tell that I know there's a difference being made, because you can feel it. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay away from the scale, because that scale doesn't mean anything, because the pant size makes a difference, even if the scale don't move. So I'm learning. I'm learning. I want out of this fat suit. The sooner the better. I'm ready to be me again. I got things to do and places to go, and I don't have time for this fat anymore. I really, this is not a diet. This is a way of life for me. If I go back to eating the way I was, I will have a heart attack and a stroke. My blood pressure was 190 over 102. um, I won't be here. And with the sleep apnea, I have obstructive sleep apnea, is getting worse. I elevate myself at night, and it was still, I stopped breathing 54 times in an hour. And if I didn't wear that machine, I'd be in a bad way. And I'm praying that if I get this off of my abdomen, maybe someday I won't have to feel like a dog on a chain wearing that stupid mask. I have a lot going for me. And it's like the simple answer is improve my health. Once I improve my health, my abdomen, I just had that hernia fix, and my intestines are trying to push through that mesh wire they put in there. And it's like, but I just had that done. What can we do, doctor? Lose weight. That's the only thing you can do. Let's do gastric and or do the sleeve. And no, I've had enough surgeries. I did this. I can get it off myself. So, but I do see my mom tells me my siblings are dropping weight left and right because they had that sleeve, and that hurts, because it's like, here I am working so hard, and man, they just went and had that done, and they're losing weight left and right. And I'm like, that's not fair. What, the rich people get to live that can afford the surgery, and the others don't. And I thought, well, you know what? That's not what God intended anyway. You go through struggles in this life to come out as a conqueror, and it makes you stronger. And if I don't fix my thinking and my brain, then as soon as I did lose it, I would put it right back on, because I never educated myself and got through what the problem was with why I was overeating and why I was eating the things that I was eating. So if I didn't fix my brain, it would do no good to spend all that money having that surgery, because at some ways I believe it's a mental condition. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but it's like obsessive compulsive. You sit there, you get bored, you eat a chocolate bar, you sit there, you get bored. And the sugar, it's like crack. It might as well be a schedule 1, 3, whatever they schedule them, because you just crave it. Oh my gosh, when I first started the keto, it was like I used to have sugar in my coffee. I would have sugar, sugar. I never realized how much sugar I had until I started keto and was like, I'm surprised I never became a diabetic. I really am. Because I never became a diabetic, but I don't know why I didn't, because that was a lot of sugar. I mean, that's a lot.
And so you're a very, very, very wise woman. And, I watched My 600-Pound Life, and at the beginning, they say that the surgery has 5% success. And I love that you're doing it without it, and you're not tempted or pulled in. And you are so right. And I think part of the consistency of a turtle is so your head can catch up with your weight loss.
Yes.
And I think that it is a big head game. I began on Overeaters Anonymous in the 70s, and so part of my addiction is the head part, along
Mm,
with the weight part. But you're so wise, and I love that you're not being pulled. And thank goodness you can find so much support here and on Facebook pages. You could even pose a question on a Facebook page. There's so many keto and keto/carnivore channels on Facebook, and
mm,
you can pose the question, have any of you ever been tempted to have the surgery? And
mm.
could you could get so much help from doing that. And but I just love that you want to do this, that you want, and I can hear it. It just is pouring out of you that you just want it, and that you're probably getting a little bit better every day.
Yes.
Sometimes that's hard to log. Do you keep a diary, an emotional diary about your journey?
Just basically on Facebook and the YouTubes. My goal is right now. I'm still trying to get my energy back. I am this autoimmune. I kept telling my doctor, I'm tired of feeling like I have cancer. I want my energy back. And he's like, well, and of course they got a pill for that, and I ain't interested in that. But I just figure I'm working my way up. A little bit of it is depression, I'm sure, from my back surgery and because when you get knocked down when you were an active person, I worked since I was 16 years old. You get knocked down, and I applied for the Social Security. They denied me and said, well, you got to apply again. Everybody tells me. And it's like, well, what do you do in the meantime? Starve? So this diet works out really great. But it's like, you know, uh, it's, I don't know. I lost my
I've
train of
always
thought.
heard that you have to apply again.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they
But
they want to
yeah,
torture you, and
yeah,
so I wouldn't hesitate to apply again.
yes. But we're doing this, Sarah. We got this. I mean, with you on our side and you helping us, and it's greatly, greatly appreciated. I was glued to you I was like, she has a beautiful soul. And I have watched you since I found you, and I'll continue to watch you because you are so encouraging. And I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Well, thank you for saying that. It's just it 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 just feels so good. And now that since I've started this Friday with a friend, it just feels like it's really going to make a difference for so many of us. I mean, so many of us feel like a shut-in,
Yeah.
in the world because it's like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever said the word keto to anybody face to face, but it's like they automatically have an opinion. And it's like, and do you know anything else about it besides that you're 5 pounds of bacon a day, And so I find that I don't even talk about it to anybody that's local. And so,
Yes.
you know, this serves me as well as it serves people like you. So walk me through a day of eating and drinking.
Okay. Well, I get up, I have my coffee, I put some heavy whipping cream in it, some butter, and then I won't eat again till about 4 o'clock. I will have a hamburger or steak with cooked in butter, and some cheese if I want cheese. I've been kind of shying away from the cheese. And I found that I did okay with the mozzarella, but I got to watch those carbs in that, even though it's carnivore. But they say to stick with hard cheeses. But so I really haven't done any cheese, but any kind of meat. And then I eat some pork rinds. if I start feeling like, I hadn't got enough fat in, I'll eat some pork rinds, or I may have another cup of coffee with some butter in it. Then I seem to be okay until the morning. Now, like this morning, I woke up and I thought, well, I'm kind of hungry today, but I didn't eat as much yesterday. Yesterday was a emotional wanting to eat day, and it was more stress than anything, because I am a stress eater. I figured that out. But usually, and like most of the time, like I made a roast for people that are on a budget. I took a roast. I got a real nice rump roast that was good and fatty, and I sliced it like you would a prime rib. And then I cooked it like that, and I had 2 or 3 days of meals there, and I was so satisfied. And I felt like the only thing I was missing was a horseradish, but I can't have that right now. So it was wonderful. Eggs, bacon. I don't do sausage anymore because I found that flares me up. Um, I haven't tried back chicken yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But it's really not that bad. You know what the problem is? Is when you get to watching the television or Facebook or Instagram and you see all them food pictures, and even though you're not smelling it and you're not tasting it, visually, you want it. And this is the crazy part. I wasn't even hungry and my stomach started growling. And I identified that it wasn't until I saw that picture of the bun and the things that are no longer going to be in my life that, wow, we're brainwashed, So,
So do you plan your, okay, a couple of two-parter questions. Do you plan your meals? Do you weigh and measure things like heavy whipping cream and butter? And go ahead.
I fly by the seat of my pants. I whatever I feel like eating, then that's what I'll go ahead and make. When I was on the keto, I did measure everything and I did weigh everything. But being on carnivore, it's not really necessary because I'm not getting those carbs in. But when I do go back to keto, yes, I will do what you do. I will measure, and that way I keep a log and I know, so that if I do hit a stall, I can identify, or I can get a hold of you or someone to help me identify what it was that caused me to stall or to gain weight. So that's what I plan on doing.
When you ate vegetables before, did you get bloated?
Yes, gas and bloated. And I don't have a gallbladder, so I don't know if that made a difference or not. Um, but I mean, it wasn't like too uncomfortable, but I could tell a difference that, wow, now I look pregnant. What's going on, And it was basically like gassy garlic, and especially, I mean, tomatoes I kind of noticed, but like you said, it's a nightshade, so maybe that has something to do with it, with the inflammation. Salad, romaine lettuce, yeah, I noticed that. Definitely the bloating on the salad, but I love salad.
Yeah, I do too. I find the baby butter lettuce and the baby lettuces, the two different versions are a lot less bloaty than romaine. The romaine seems to just, it seems like a harsher lettuce, I think, to me.
Yeah, I have to try that. I will try that definitely and see if there's a difference, because hey, every little bit, the educating yourself, and you learn so much from other people that you never knew before, because you're not going to find out from a nutritionist any of this stuff. I mean, so
No. Now, how are you with things like artificial sweeteners and diet sodas? Were you addicted to them? Did you have to give them up? Do you still enjoy any of them?
I still enjoy diet soda, diet Dr. Pepper. It doesn't seem to affect me. Um, which is weird because a lot of people said it'll stall you out in it. And maybe it was because I was so big. Maybe when I get to a certain point that, I'm starting to get closer to the goal, and I'm willing to ditch it. I'm willing to get rid of it. Coffee, heavy whipping cream to me tastes like sweetener. I mean, because it's a little sweet, And then the butter, I use the Kerry Gold, and to me, it has a sweet flavor. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's in my head, but to me it helps. So yeah, I still got an addiction to the soda, but I figure it's a heck of a lot better than what I was doing before. And if I do get to a stall, because I will, that's why I'm recording this journey. I don't enjoy I love meeting people and stuff, but I don't enjoy recording all the time because sometimes I just don't feel good. But I made myself accountable when I told how much I weighed. Can you see the people that I knew going, holy crap, I didn't know she was that big? Because I always worked out with weights. So therefore, I got a large mass. I got a lot of muscle. So you look at me and you think, man, she's not that big. And it's like, yes, I am. It's because I have so much muscle, and I'm 5'7". So, people don't realize what I've been carrying around this last couple of years. And I'm here to tell you, wow, I'm ready for this bag to get off my back because it makes you tired. So,
I'm solid and I've got muscle, so don't piss me off.
yeah, yeah, I'll steal your
Uh,
potatoes.
um, no sweetener in your coffee because you find that the heavy whipping cream and the butter. Well, don't they say sweet creamery butter oftentimes anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they churn it, so yeah. I guess it depends on the brand that you get because some farmers are going to treat their animals better than others, and so but I have found that the Kerrygold, there's also an Amish butter that I can't find anymore that is I mean excellent. I could eat that by the stick,
Yeah, we
but
get it.
I
Yeah.
can't find it here anymore. But
I have it on my
uh,
steak. I have different brands of butter, like some people do wines, different coffees,
yeah,
different butters. Next question. So, do you find versus, like chips and breads and grains and things like that, which was hardest to go without at first?
chips. I was never a bread person. I never enjoyed wheat products, and I know now why was because the gluten. It made me itch. It flared me up. Even as a kid growing up, I'd rather have spoons of peanut butter than a peanut butter sandwich. I never did. Now, the only thing I did like was rolls, like yeast rolls and stuff like that. But I have never been a bread person, never have. So it wasn't really an addiction to break there. Now, you offer me a piece of chocolate German cake, and yeah, I got a problem there because I love to bake. And luckily there's a lot of different recipes out there that I'll be able to start, making and tweak my own and still be able to enjoy that in moderation. But yeah, I was a cake nut, I'll admit it.
That was my final binge food. Let me ask you another question. Do you have to cook differently for people that live in the house?
No, my kids are not picky, except, well, my son's a little picky, but for the most part, no. My husband, he's also doing keto, and he's dropped 35 pounds, and he enjoys keto because he said he feels better. He was a type 2 diabetic. We were having to spend money on his medications. There was 3 at one point that he was on. He's no longer on medication because of keto. And so my daughter, she wants to be fit and trim, and she enjoys keto. And she said, Mom, it's better that I learn to eat like this now instead of putting on all that weight and then have to struggle to get it off. And I said, yeah, you don't want to do this because it was easy for me to put it on, but this is seeming like forever. I mean, it does. It seems like forever, one little pound at a time. And so I feel like it's a healthy alternative to the crap that they feed in schools. And I mean, it's wonderful to see my child know what a portion is. I mean, it's wonderful because our plates are huge. Let's face it. I mean, America's plates are giant, and you put that food on there, and to people, they see a small, that's a normal size salad, but you put it on a giant plate, and it looks like you don't have much food. So mentally, you think, "Oh, I'm going to starve." So get you a smaller plate, use like a small salad plate. That's something I've changed because I mean, I want little plates. I don't want no big plates around here because it really is a mental, there is a wiring issue that really, if you smell it, you're going to want it. If you see it, you're going to want it. If you taste it, you're in trouble. So, yeah.
It's funny because I've been doing smaller plates and smaller forks and a paring knife instead of the great big, steak knives that you get. And so even when I see my own videos of what I ate, the plate, it's that bread and butter plate, it's
Mhm.
big. And it still looks so big. And now
Giant.
that's my normal. So it's exactly what you say. I'd rather have the salad falling off of the plate than to have one of those, salad plates this big with, the 80 grams on it. And it looks like, what happened? Did a wind gust get the rest? It's like, you know, um, so that really, because that's my head connection with the portion, So if I have more protein now than I did before. I kind of doubled it. So if I'm having an 8 ounce like fillet on the plate, and it's a bread and butter plate, it looks abundant,
Mhm.
versus did lose it? um, so it sounds like your daughter has also inherited your wisdom and your reasonableness. And it's like, can you imagine learning about this at a young age?
Mm. I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through now if I hadn't have been miseducated with nutrition. I was in nursing over 25 years and we were taught, you use the pyramid, you have 4 ounces of protein, you have your so many ounces of vegetables, and then you have a grain, and then you have milk and, well, milk sugar, grain sugar, you know, and then you got
And
to
six
think
to
that the,
11 servings of that grain, too.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Um, so you don't have to cook any vegetables or anything like that. Are they doing carnivore with you, or you just add a little veg for
No,
them?
they eat what they want. I always keep fresh fruit and vegetables in the fridge, and if they want it, they go get it. My daughter loves salad, and so most of the time you'll see her walking around with a salad. My husband, he'll eat one, but he's not real big on vegetables. I mean, he's more of a cheese nut. He loves cheese. But yeah, I'm just, I won't say, I just stay away from the fridge because I am tempted because I'm on carnivore. And it doesn't bother me to watch them eat a cucumber salad. But if I try not to put that temptation out there because it's going to be harder for me, because I'm doing so well and I don't want to fall. So I just kind of stay away from that fridge because, until you get yourself right, you stay away from triggers. You don't go driving by Red Lobster, with the windows down, thinking that you're not going to go, oh my God, I'm starving to death. So I just stay away from triggers. I mean, it's hard too because this whole country smells like food. I don't care if you're passing the Chinese restaurant, you're passing even in Walmart, smells like rotisserie chicken. So, I mean, I'm sick, I gotta beat this first. It's like being an alcoholic. Food is addictive, just like the sugar. And I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to retrain my thinking. Now, I don't remember how long they said it takes to make your brain quit a habit. I can't remember how long that takes.
I
But
always heard 3 weeks.
yeah, I don't believe that.
Mm.
But, that's what I'm going to do until I'm taking control of my body. My body's not going to tell me you're going to eat and you're going to eat that. Oh, bull crap. This is my body and I'm not going to eat that. And if I want it, then I'll have it. But you're not, it's like you're fighting with yourself. No, I'm not crazy. It's just that's what it seems like. It's like taking control back of the, you know, if you want to go somewhere, you go somewhere. I don't want to eat if I'm bored. I don't want to eat because socially, because everybody else is eating. Why did we even become that kind of people to where you sit down and everybody eats? Just have a cup of coffee. We don't have to meet at lunch. We can go to the park. I want to change things to where not everything is made around food, if that makes any
Oh, yeah.
sense.
Well, social means food and drinking. I mean,
Yeah.
how did you do with the 4 months of triggers and visuals and smells and food pushers? How did you do with those?
Well, the holidays, I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home because I really don't have much family and they have their own life. They're all Air Force. And so I stayed at home, and the kids, they don't care for turkey. And so it really worked out. My daughter, she likes yams, but not really. So all the things, my kid's not picky. And it's like she wasn't really even interested. And with her, if she wants pie or cake, she'll take it and she'll go. in the living room, watch TV. What she don't get in my face with it. So, because she knows that I'm working for a goal, and so she has her goodies and stuff, gluten free, and and it doesn't bother me. So actually, I've done really good. It's the social media that all the recipes and the visual food pictures, I think, that gets me. So I've been trying to stay away from Facebook, and I've been staying on YouTube because I've met a good people on there that are, some of them are going to do the same thing. I just signed up for an Instagram. So I went over there and I found all the keto people, and I was like, yes, I've got friends, and
What
they
fun.
understand. And I thought, well, I'm the only fat person there, because most of these women just look so thin. And then I started reading their story, and there was one girl that was like 254 pounds, and it made me feel better because I said, wow, she looks great. And she's coming from the same journey as me. So that's what I needed. And I'm finding people every day, and we all got to stay strong because, this problem, as food gets worse and worse, manufactured, Morton salt had sugar in it, dextrose. I started reading my labels because it said zero carbs, but I was still flaring up. And my husband was like, did you look at the back of that salt? Yeah, Morton salt. So I went to Redmond's like you. And there was several other things that it says to prevent caking. Well, they say you're only supposed to have what, a tablespoon, or no, a teaspoon of salt a day. Okay, well, a teaspoon of salt. Well, you start adding that up. There's a little sprinkle of this and that, and everything that you put in your mouth. You already had 5 tablespoons. So I went to Redmond's, and that's what I'm gonna stick there. And just please read the labels, especially if you're really trying hard and you don't, the labels, and learn all the different names for sugar because they use, and stay away from natural flavors too.
Oh,
So
amen. I told you, the first interview with Sandra over in the Netherlands, she said that her beef had sugar in it.
I saw that. It doesn't surprise me because they market towards sweet and salty. That's what we love because those are the two strongest taste buds. So sweet and salty, even on your beef, I guess. But it's
Yes,
crazy.
it has been wonderful because you seem to know your stuff. And so you have a lot to teach people too. So I'm glad you have a channel and you're not afraid of doing things. And I bet some people would love to see what you eat in a day. And you know what I find, my most watched videos seem to be about the stuff surrounding it, like the way I
Hmm.
have water, the way I have my coffee, the salts that I use, the
Hmm.
not the 4 ounce portion of, or the 8 ounce portion of a burger, but the other stuff, like what goes on in your day. And I'm sure a lot of
Yes.
people would love to hear that because that's where the strength comes from. Because first, when people start doing keto and carnivore, they don't understand that the thirst is your body not telling you that you're hungry, which of course was always my go-to. I must be hungry. It's like, no, you need the salt crystal. I need the salt crystals on my tongue, followed by a little mineral water, and the successes could be as simple as that when you add them onto the food that we're having or not having.
Hmm.
I definitely, just like Sandra, I definitely want to keep in touch with you and see you, back here doing a follow-up interview. I'm going to put you down for April too. And
Awesome.
yeah, because I love your determination. You are a very strong and powerful woman, and you're young enough to be my daughter, which like that it gets concerning here being
Well, you're beautiful enough to be my mother.
so. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you did with us here. This was a wonderful Friday with a Friend episode. Sheena's YouTube is down below. And so do go give her a look, maybe subscribe, and tell her what you thought of this. And you can also tell her what you thought of this right here on
Yeah.
right here, and she'll be able to go back in and also comment. And so thank you so much, Sheena. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure. And now
Love
I
you,
will sign.
Sarah.
I love you. We will sign off now and then talk on the other side.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.